So find your way over to your mat. Find a comfortable lying down position, just like Shavasana. We're gonna start by getting grounded on our backs. So let the legs go long, toes roll out to the side. Tuck your chin into your chest a little bit so you're nice and long through the back and through your spine, through the neck. Let the toes roll out to the side. Melt down onto your mat. You can have palms face up by your side as a receiving motion, receiving from the universe. Or left hand to the heart, right hand to your belly to tap into your breath and your heartbeat. Maybe softly close the eyes. We're going to take a couple minutes to find stillness. Find a grounding space. Connect to your breath. Let all your thoughts go. Softly close the lips and breathe in and out of the nose. I'm going to read a short little passage, kind of talking about what's going on right now collectively on the planet. So I offer these thoughts. Slow moments are common after a period of serious growth. This is the time to get to know the new you. As you mature, you release so many layers that you sometimes change radically. Slow moments are also a way to see what areas you can grow in next. Patience is underrated. Storms lose their strength when you remember that they do not last forever. Some of the biggest leaps forward come after you accept where you are. Being without wanting is acceptance of the present moment. You can simultaneously have goals and wholeheartedly embrace where you are on your journey. The current level of collective fear and uncertainty is historic. Never have there been so many people feeling the same thing at the same time in a modern era. The pandemic has opened the door to imagination, shown us our interconnection, and how the actions of one ripple outward can affect so many others. All right. You can start by gently opening the eyes. Wiggle the fingers and toes, and then we're going to pull our left knee up to our right knee up to our right armpit. Grab onto the shin and try and pull that knee into your right armpit. Really getting it as close as you can to the body. Try to keep your left hip from lifting off the mat. Opening up our hips. And then from here, we'll take half happy baby. So let your foot go up towards the ceiling, knees still bent. Grab the outside of your right foot. I like to place my left hand on my left hip. Keep it rooted to the mat. And then take little circles with your right foot and your right hand to breathe into different areas of the hip. Maybe circling around both directions. Continuously pulling the knee towards the mat on your right side body. And then we'll straighten that right leg up. Foot goes towards the ceiling. Flex your toes down towards your face. Grab onto the back of that right leg and we'll start opening up the back of the right leg. Feel the stretch from the hamstring to the calf. Keep your hips grounded on the mat. And then maybe you take some ankle circles here with that right foot that's in the air. Our ankles do a lot of work for us in all of our balancing poses, so we'll give them some attention. And then we're going to grab the right foot with the left hand. You might have to bend into the knee to grab it. We're going to try and have a straight leg supine twist. So pull your right foot over to the left. You're going to rock kind of over to the side. Let your right hip stack on top of the left. And then try and straighten into that right leg. Your right foot is still in the right or the left hand. And then breathe into the outer edge of that right leg. You should feel it in the IT band, still in the back of the leg. And then slowly come back to center with the right. Let the right leg go back down on the mat. Find some symmetry through the hips, through the spine, and then we'll lift left knee, left armpit. Hug that shin in as much as you can. Trying to tuck the knee in the armpit, pulling your leg to the side body. Really using the strength of your arms to pull the shin so you can open the hips. And then moving into half happy baby. Grab the outside of the left foot. Pull that left kneecap towards the earth. Maybe your right hand comes to the right hip to keep it from lifting. And then again, you can take little baby circles with the left foot, kind of breathing into different angles of the hip if that feels good. Going both directions with the circles. And then we'll straighten into that left foot, shoot the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. Flex those toes back towards the face as you grab the back of the left leg and pull it towards your body. Breathing life into the back of the leg. Feel the stretch go from your sit bone all the way to the heel. The farther you flex your toes towards the face, the more you'll feel it in your calf. And then if you want to take those little ankle circles with the left foot, go ahead and do that here. And then we'll grab the left foot with the right hand, probably bending the left knee. So you can grab a hold of that foot and then supine twist with straight legs. Drop your left foot over to the right. Feel that IT band, say hello, good afternoon. Kind of having the left hip stacking on top of the right. Breathe into the outside of that left leg. All right, we'll come back to center, bend the knees and plant both feet on the mat. And then just rock the knees side to side, releasing the low back a little bit. All right, now we're gonna grab behind the thighs and rock and roll along the spine a few times, if that feels okay. Releasing some of the muscles. And then we'll land in a boat pose. So find a nice grounded position with your two sit bones. We want to be tall through the spine, so inhale to find length. And then you're gonna lean your chest backwards, spine is straight, palms forward by your legs. And then eventually your legs will zip up. In boat pose here. Hold this, feel your core engaged, and then very slowly with an inhale, we lengthen down to canoe. Let your whole spine come to the mat, and then exhale back to boat. Warming up the core, go at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, find length, spine meets the floor. Exhale, you crunch up to boat pose. Lift through the chest when you get to boat pose. Keeping that spine straight. Feel your hip flexors working, your core is engaged. Few more. Keep going. Slow and controlled. Use your breath, ujjayi breathing, all the way down the back of the throat. All right, last one. We'll meet in boat pose. And then drop your feet to butterfly pose. So the insides of the feet come to touch. Push your knees down towards the mat. If you want more of a hip stretch, your heels will be close to the body. If you want more of a low back stretch, your heels, heels will be farther away from the body. Inhale to find length in the spine. And then think about hinging from the hips. Folding over your feet for butterfly pose. You can let the back begin to arch. Let your forehead drop down to the toes. Breathing into the hips and the low back. All right, we'll inhale to lift the chest. We're gonna bring the right leg out straight to the right, kind of out at an angle. And then your left heel is gonna scoot in towards your body. We're gonna get into our low back. So we'll start by walking the hands forward. Then you're gonna take your right forearm, swing it over to the right shin. Inhale to lift the chest, open to the side wall. Right hand sweeps up, or left hand sweeps up and over. Left hand is angling towards the right toes. Feel that side body on the left open up, getting into the low back. Still feeling it in the hips and the legs. Gaze is wherever is comfortable, up at the ceiling or down at the floor. Still reaching the left fingers towards the right toes. And then we'll sweep back to center. We're gonna bring that right leg, instead of it being out at an angle, we're gonna bring the right leg right in front of us. Now your left heel can stay exactly where it is, but two options for this pose. I prefer to bring my foot facing externally instead of internally. Our hips are all shaped different, and so it might feel different for either one of you. So left foot can be out or in. We're gonna fold over the right leg. So have your chest facing the right leg. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, hinging at the hips again. Fold over that right leg, reach towards the right toes. The sensation should be all along the back of the right leg. Every time you inhale, think about lifting the chest, lengthening the spine, and then exhale folds you deeper into the stretch. All right, lifting back to seated position. We'll switch our legs. So this left leg is gonna straighten, shoot it out to the left, maybe 45 degrees. Bring your right heel towards the body. Start by leaning forward, maybe walking the hands on the mat. Take your left forearm, swing it over to the left shin. The chest opens towards the side wall. Inhale, right hand sweeps up and over, reaching for the left toes. Feel that side body on the right open up all the way into that low back area. It's kind of a hard spot to stretch, so this is a really good stretch to get into that low back. Keep reaching towards those toes. Gaze was wherever's comfortable. I don't want any pain in the neck, trying to hold the head up. All right, release back to center, push the chest up. We'll swing that left leg forward facing now. And then your right heel can stay close to that body, or you can do what I did and take the right foot out to the side. It's just because my hips. Different angle for everybody. Inhale to find length. Exhale, fold over the left leg. All these poses, I want you to take at your own breath. So if I say exhale, fold, and you're still in the middle of your inhale, just wait for that exhale to begin and then begin the movement. Your yoga practice will be enhanced if you follow your own breath. All right, beautiful job. Push your chest back up. Bring both of those feet out on the mat in front of you, bend into the knees. We're going to meet in reverse tabletop. So hands are going to land behind the hips, fingers facing forward. On an inhale, lift the hips, let the head go back, maybe even drop back, opening the throat. Reverse tabletop position. Feel the front of your shoulder blades opening up. Keep pressing through the heels to lift the hips. Opening that throat chakra. If you're letting your head fall back, opening the chest space. And release. Drop the hips to the floor. You're going to cross the legs and roll over the knees. We'll meet in tabletop position. First tabletop of class, so find that nice stable, stacked position. And then begin your cat-cow. Inhaling, drop the belly, gaze goes up. Exhale, arch the spine, let the head hang heavy. Cat-cow's a great pose to maybe close the eyes. Move with your own breath. Listen to your body. How does your spine feel today? So when I say stacked position, we want to make sure our wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. A few more, moving with your own pace, exaggerating the cat-cows, whatever feels best for you. It doesn't have to look any one way. All right, then we take the hands a little bit farther forward, take some hip circles here, moving the hips in big wide circles, going all the way back, all the way over to the side, all the way forward. Go both directions, inviting movement into the spine, into the hips. All right, bring the hands back to that tabletop position. Bring your low ribs into the core, so pull your belly nice and strong. And then we're going to bend the right knee, take it out to the side, take some hip circles here, opening up the hip. Feel that glute muscle begin to work, holding up the leg. Flex the right toes back towards your face to protect the knee. And then from here, we'll straighten into the right leg, shoot that heel towards the back of the room, keep those low ribs pulled up and in. We'll tuck the left toes, and on an inhale, hips go high to the sky, down, or three-legged down dog. So breathing into the back of the left leg. Let your gaze go back towards the left foot, left knee, or if you can, lift it even higher towards your belly button. We'll bend the right knee here, drop the foot in the air over to the right or over to the left, breathing into the hip. If wild thing is in your practice, feel free to flip the dog. We won't hold it for very long. Pressing the hips up to the sky. And then returning to that three-legged down dog. And we're going to bring the right knee forward all the way to behind the right wrist, coming into pigeon pose. We're going to do dancing pigeon. So begin to walk that left leg back down the mat, straightening into the left leg. Your hands are going to come a little bit wide on the mat for dancing pigeon, maybe on the outsides of the mat. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, lower the chest. Inhale to lengthen. We'll do this a few times. A fluid motion, following your breath. Breathing into the glute muscle. Inhales lift and exhales fold. Dancing pigeon. Breathe into that right glute. Last one, and then you'll bring your hands back to where they would be for down dog. Shoulder width distance. Begin to lift the left leg and then shoot that right foot back to meet the left. We're actually meeting in tabletop, so we can do the same thing other side. So not to down dog, we'll meet in tabletop. And then bend that left knee, take those hip circles on the left leg. Try and have that knee at 90 degrees. Flex the left toes towards the face. Open up the hip. Nice job. Shoot that left leg straight. Heel goes to the back of the room. We'll tuck the right toes, and on an inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Feel the back of the right leg open. We'll bend the left knee, dropping the foot in the air over to the right. Breathe into the hips. If Wild Thing is in your practice, you can let your left foot come all the way to the floor, pushing through the heels to lift the hips. Left hand goes overhead towards the front of the room. And returning back to that three-legged down dog. Collectively, we will all bring that left knee to behind the left wrist, lowering down to pigeon pose. Walk that right leg back, straightening into the right leg. Top of the foot presses into the mat. Bring those hands out to your dancing pigeon pose. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Another pose that might feel good to close the eyes. Moving through a couple rounds at your own pace. Still keeping that Ujjayi breath. Trying to make that ocean sound in the back of your throat. Last one, bring those hands back to, we'll go all the way to down dog this time. So hands back to down dog position, lift up the right kneecaps, send the left foot back to meet the right, and we'll meet in down dog. First down dog of class. You can find stillness, or you can walk the dog here, bending one knee at a time, dropping it across the body. Spread your fingers wide, press the palm into the mat. Stable through the shoulders, so roll your armpits in towards each other a little. Core is engaged, belly button's pulling up. Gaze is back between the knees or the inner thighs. Or maybe you're trying to find that belly button. We'll bend the knees, and at the bottom of your next exhale, take baby teeny steps to the front of the mat. One foot in front of the other, going nice and slow, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. When you get to the front of the mat, inhale, half lift, shine the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, bring the hands overhead. And then exhale, hands through heart center, down by your side. Meeting in mountain pose. We'll have feet hips width distance apart. You can think about opening up your feet chakras. You have one chakra on the bottom of each foot. This is how we connect to the earth in our standing poses. Kneecaps pull up into the quads. Neutral pelvis, low ribs tucked in, hands down by the side. We'll inhale, hands overhead, and then grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. We're going to take a side body stretch. So you inhale to find length, and then exhale, pull your left wrist over to the right. Shoot your left hips over to the left. Breathing into that side body. Keep bending over to the right. And then inhale back to center. We'll change the grip of the hands. This time left wrist grabs the right wrist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold over to the left this time. Breathe into that right side body. The obliques are working. Push the hips farther to the right. Keep bending. And inhale back to center. Nice job. We'll do a little back bend. You can press the hands or fists on your low back. Push the hips forward. Let the head fall back, opening the throat. Small back bend. We'll inhale back to center, standing straight up. Now we're going to get into the shoulders a little bit. So it clasps the hands together behind you. If that's not accessible, just grab your elbows. So hands or elbows. Inhale to lengthen, open the chest, pull the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, we're going to forward fold with these hands behind us. Breathing into the shoulders. Micro bend in the knee, or take as much bend in the knee as you need or want. Let the hands come overhead to the front of your mat. Breathe into the shoulders. Keep pulling your belly button up to the spine. Maybe shake out the head a little bit. And then we'll drop the hands to the mat in a plank position. So right under the shoulders, and then step your feet back. We'll meet in plank position. All right, from plank, we're gonna meet an 8-point pose. So feet and hands are 4 points. Drop the knees for 5 and 6. 7 and 8 is your chest and your chin. So try not to let the belly come to the floor. 8-point pose. Once you get there, feel the natural arch of your spine. And then we'll walk the feet long behind us onto the mat, straightening into the legs, press the tops of the feet into the mat. And we'll inhale, cobra pose. Hands under the shoulders, leading up with the chest. And then exhale, slowly press your hands into the mat. We'll meet back in a little child's pose. Counter stretch for the spine. Just a couple breaths in child's pose. Bring those knees wide. And then we'll walk our hands over to the right in child's pose. Keep those hips down. Reach through the left fingertips, through the shoulder down to that left hip. Side body stretch. You can let the forehead stay on the mat if that's comfortable. And then we'll walk the hands through center. Take the hands over to the left. This time you're really reaching through those right fingertips. Side body stretch, let the forehead come to the mat. All right, bring those hands back to center. We'll meet in down dog. Tuck both toes at the same time, lift the hips high to the sky. Find that nice sturdy down dog before we get flowing. Getting into some standing postures. So we're gonna inhale, bring the right leg up. When you do that, you might wanna move the left toe in like an inch closer towards the center of the mat for balance. Inhale the right leg high. And then exhale, bring the foot to between the hands. We'll sweep up, warrior one. So sweep the hands forward. Back toes are out at an angle. Pull your right hip back into that hip socket to keep the hips square to the front of the room. Deeper bend in that front knee. Make sure you can see your big toe on the right foot. Track that knee out. Shoulders relax out of the ears. Nice, strong warrior one position. And then we're gonna exhale, grab those hands behind us, hands or elbows, similar to what we just did. Inhale to open the chest, find length in the spine. Exhale, humble your warrior, let your chest fall to the inside of that right thigh. Maybe you have to readjust your back foot a little bit so that you feel nice and stable in the legs, that's okay. Find that strong foot position. Try to keep your right hip from shooting out to the right. Let your head hang heavy. Humble warrior, your right leg is on fire, holding you up. Keep pulling those hands overhead towards the front of your mat to get into the shoulders. All right, release the hands to the mat. We'll straighten into both legs, coming into pyramid pose. So you might shorten the stance a little bit. Heel to heel alignment. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, pyramid pose. Let your chest fall over that right leg. Let your head hang heavy. You don't have to hold it up. Squeeze your glutes together, everything towards your midline, pulling up from the pelvis. So you're lifting up from the pelvis. It makes it feel like there's less weight in your feet. And then we're gonna kick up to standing splits. Left foot goes high to the sky. You're balancing on that right ankle. Keep grounding through your right foot. Maybe you challenge your balance, bringing One hand off the mat at a time. And then we're going to drop the left foot behind the right foot, pinky toes to touch. So the outer edge of the left foot kind of creeps up to the outer edge of the right foot. Your front knee will be a little bit more bent than the back knee. And then you're going to keep this folded position and then walk your hands over to one side at a time. It allows you to get into the hips a little bit and that IT band. Go both directions, both sides. With the left leg behind the right, I like to walk my hands over to the right side and then breathe into that left hip flexor, IT band. Keep letting that head hang heavy. All right, we'll walk the hands back to center. Bring your left foot out from behind the right. Feet under the hips. We'll inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. You can take it through your option vinyasa or meet in down dog. So you can lower to chaturanga, or you can do knees chaturanga. Inhale can take you to a cobra pose or a down dog. And then exhale, we meet in, up dog, then we meet in down dog. Always have option to skip vinyasa, take rest in down dog or child's pose. All right, this time we'll move the right foot in about an inch more towards the center of the mat. And inhale, left leg goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot between the hands, come up, warrior one. Sweep those hands forward. Deep bend in the front knee, try not to lose it. Really deep bend here, setting up for that humble warrior. So track that left knee out to the left. Back toes out at an angle. When you exhale, you drop the hands behind you, grabbing wrists or elbows. Use the inhale to lift through the chest, pull those shoulder blades back. Exhale, humble your warrior. Drop the chest to the inside of the left thigh this time. When I get into humble warrior, I end up moving my back foot a little bit farther out to the side. So in this case, it would be out to the right. Gives me more room to let the chest fall onto the inside of the left thigh. Let the head hang heavy, pull the hands overhead. Belly button pulls to the spine, your core is still engaged, your left leg is on fire. Keep that deep bend in the front knee, don't lose it. And then release, we're coming up to pyramid pose, so drop the hands to the floor, straighten into both legs. You'll probably rearrange the foot position a little bit, heel to heel alignment, back toes out at an angle. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold over the left leg, pyramid pose. Now you can do that a couple times. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to fold. Every time getting a little deeper into the stretch. Totally optional. I just want you to feel what's best for your body. Using inhales to find length and exhales to find the stretch. Coming up to standing splits. Move the weight into the left foot. Right foot goes high to the sky. Balance through that left foot. Keep the right toe, the big toe on the right foot. Try not to let it go out to an angle. Try and turn it more towards your midline of your body so your hips are still kind of square. Challenge your balance, lifting one foot off the mat or one hand off the mat at a time. Let the head hang heavy. Use your breath. And then we drop the right foot behind the left, pinky toes to touch, bending the knees a little bit to get there. And then inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine, and exhale, forward fold. Stay in this fold, or maybe you walk your hands side to side. With the right foot back this time, I like to walk my hands over to the left, breathing into that hip socket on the right side and then down the outer edge of the right leg that I T-band. Let the head hang heavy still, no tension in the neck. Relaxing into the pose. Nice job. We'll come back to center with the hands. Bring those feet back to hips width distance. When you get there, inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, take it through chaturanga and vinyasa, or meet me in down dog. So if you're doing the chaturanga, I want to see your elbows close to the body. Don't lower your chest lower than a half push-up. That will compromise the shoulders. So when doing chaturanga, just half push-up. Inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. We'll bend the knees on the bottom of your next exhale. Walk, step, or hop to the front of your mat. One breath per movement. When you get there, inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands through heart center, down by the side. Inhale, hands come back overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, take it through your vinyasa. We meet in down dog, getting ready for our second flow. Strong through the core, body's warmed up. From here, maybe bring that left toe into the center of the mat. Inhale, right leg goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot. We'll open up warrior two this time. Cartwheel those hands nice and wide. Right hand forward, left hand back. Gaze over the middle finger of the right hand. Deep bend in that front knee, heel to heel alignment. Same thing as warrior one. Make sure you can see that big toe on your right foot, so track that knee out. Feel your hips opening up here. Mula and Uddiyana Bandha, so from your belly and your pelvis area, you're pulling up, lifting from your belly. Deeper bend in the front knee. We're gonna exhale, extended side angle, right elbow, right kneecap, left hand reaches up and over. Your one long line from the heel to the left fingertips. Gaze can follow the left fingertips. Don't lose those warrior two legs. Inhale, reverse warrior. So use the core to lift you. Left hand down the leg, right hand reaches back towards the back of the room. Breathe into that right side body. Feel it through the rib cage. Feel your legs working. Don't lose that stance. All right, cartwheel the hands back to warrior two. We're gonna set up for triangle pose. So you're gonna straighten into both legs. I take a shorter stance in triangle pose, so I'll walk my back foot in about a foot. You still have heel to heel alignment. Know when you're ready, reach your right hands forward as front, or your fingers forward as far as you can. Then revolve the hands, left hand up, right hand down. So triangle pose. Your legs are straight. Great place to use a block or a prop if you can under the right hand. If you don't have one, maybe you just kind of come up onto the fingers, the fingertips of the right hand, really using the core to keep you lifted, not the hand. All right, from here, we're gonna move to half moon pose, a balancing pose. Right hand's gonna drop in front of the right foot. Left foot goes high to the sky. Right foot stays in the air, exactly where it was for triangle pose. Option to stay here, half moon, or maybe you go for a quad stretch, left foot grabbing the left, or left hand grabbing the left foot. Pull, kicking into the hand, opening the quad and the shoulder blade, the front of the shoulder. This is optional, just holding half moon. All right, nice job. Bring those hands down to the mat. Take it through Vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Nice job, guys. Super strong. Try to go one breath per movement. Ujjayi breathing in and out of the nose. We'll meet in down dog. If you feel like you've built a lot of internal heat, this is a nice place to take an open mouth exhale. Let it out. Getting ready for the next side. Maybe your right big toe goes an inch towards the center of the mat. Inhale, left foot goes high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, plant the foot, cartwheel the hands open, warrior two. You know where we're going, so we want to start with this strong warrior two leg position. Deep bend in that front knee. Track the left knee out. Feel your hips pulling apart, but then you're pulling up at your midline through the belly. Relax the shoulders down their back. Exhale, extended side angle, left elbow, left knee, right hand reaches up and over. Try to keep those exact two warrior two legs. Right fingertips are reaching up towards the corner of the room. Roll your armpit in towards your face just a little. All right, from here, try not to use your legs or your arms, just your core. Reverse warrior, left hand to the sky, right hand down the leg. Breathe into that left side body. Maybe your right arm wraps around the low back instead of going down the leg, either one. Keep that deep end in the front knee, we're almost done. Keep breathing. And then return the hands to warrior two. Straighten into both legs, setting up for triangle pose. Straighten into both legs, heel to heel alignment. Reach the left hands forward, keep reaching, reaching, reaching. When you can't reach anymore, revolve the hands, left hand down, right hand up. Gaze follows the right fingertips up to the sky, if that's okay. And then again, a great pose to use that block if you have a prop under the left fingertips. It helps keep the chest lifted. Using your obliques here. All right, moving to half moon pose. If you have that proper block, you'll bring it with you under the left hand. Right hand stays where it is. Right foot shoots towards the back of the room. Your chest is open to the right side of the room. You're balancing on the left foot. You've got it. Straighten into both legs. Energy's reaching out of that right heel towards the back of the room. Right fingertips to the front of the room. Everything's engaged. All right, hands go to the mat, bend into the left knee. Right foot finds the back of the mat. Hands under the shoulders, left foot meets the right. Take it through Vinyasa or meet in down dog. Beautiful job. When you get there, we'll inhale right leg high to the sky. And then exhale, lizard pose. Bring your right foot to the outside of the right pinky. Drop the left knee. Roll onto the outer edge of that right foot. And then settle into lizard pose with every breath. There's a lot to stretch here. There's a lot going on, so take it slow. Breathe into the hips. You can lower down maybe to 1 or 2 forearms. Still rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. You can even push that right knee away from you a little bit. And then if you're liking that quad stretch today, you can shoot your left heel towards your glute. Maybe reach around, grab the foot. More of an intense quad stretch. If you really want to get into it today too, you could use a prop, like a strap or a blanket or a t-shirt if you don't quite have that grip yet. Every exhale, sinking into lizard pose. Relaxing tension out of the hips, out of the shoulders. Relax your face. Soften the eyes. And just be. All right, really slowly, very, very slowly, we're going to transition back to down dog and then take lizard pose on the other side. So I like to press my hands under my shoulders, lift my back knee, and then I wiggle my right foot back to meet the left, hips high to the sky for down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, bend the knee, plant the foot on the outer edge of the left pinky. Drop the right kneecap. Let the foot go flat on the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. And find your lizard pose variation. Maybe take a couple different variations. Maybe start with your chest lifted. Hold that for 5 breaths. And then lower down to the forearm. 1 or 2 forearms. You should feel a lot of stretching going on in the groin area, the hips, the psoas, the hip flexors. Push that left knee out to the left a little bit. Keep rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. If you want that quad stretch, your right heel will come back towards the body. Reach around and grab it with whatever hand is most accessible. And then again, we're settling into this longer stretch. So use this time to practice yoga, not in the physical form, but in the other limbs of yoga where we practice quieting the mind, releasing tension from the body and the mind, maybe dropping into meditation. Focusing on our breath. All right, we'll really slowly move out of that lizard pose, and then we'll meet lying on our backs. So just slowly rolling over onto your back, however you want to get there. No right or wrong way. Try to let the entire length of the spine touch the mat, even the back of your neck. And then hug the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug, rock side to side. Feel those hip flexors moving in the opposite way. We just stretched them out, and now we're closing them tight. Still a great stretch for them. And now we're going to move into a supine figure 4. You'll take your right ankle to the left knee. Your right shin is going to pull towards your chest. Your left leg can be knee bent or leg straight. It does not matter with that left foot, whatever feels good for you. We're breathing into the glute on the right side. We're not going to hold it for too long. So really pull that shin towards the chest. Try to keep that spine on the mat, even the back of your head, the back of your neck stays on the mat. And then we're going to drop the feet over to the left for a supine twist. You might want to lift the hips, move them back towards the center of the mat. Stack your right hip on top of the left. Rearrange those legs to your supine twist position. Maybe knees stack on top. Maybe right leg wraps around the bottom leg. And then gaze goes right, supine twist. Try to keep the shoulder blades on the mat as well. And then feel the whole length of the spine from your tailbone to the bottom of your head. Bringing out. We'll slowly move back to center. Plant your feet on the mat, knees bent, finding a moment of symmetry. Bring your hips back to the center of the mat. Feel how that right glute feels a little more stretched out than the left. And then we'll take the same thing on the left side, left ankle to right knee. Begin to pull the left shin towards the body, towards the chest. Figure 4, so we're stretching that left glute. I like to press my left palm into the knee space and push it away from the body a little bit, kind of like we did in lizard pose. Again, try to keep the spine on the mat, so try to keep your hips from lifting off the mat as we pull the shin towards us. Chin tucks down a little bit. Keep pulling. We're at the end of practice, so we should be warmed up, really trying to get into this glute stretch. And then we'll drop the knees over to the right. Supine twist. Press the foot into the mat to lift the hips back towards the center of the mat, allowing you to stack left on top of right hip. Wiggle the shoulder blades up the mat. Gaze drops over to the left. You can cactus the arm. Still using that ujjayi breathing. Slowly come back to center. At this time, I invite you to take any last stretches that are calling your name. Right here, right now, today. It could be any stretch at all. You can get up off your back if you need. Maybe even something small like a wrist stretch or just stretching out the toes. Setting up for Shavasana, our final pose of class. Let your legs go long, toes roll out to the side. Returning to your mat. That grounded space, feeling connected, down to the earth. Tuck the chin to the chest a little bit so you're nice and long through the spine. And then just like we started class, your hands can be down by the side or left hand on heart, right hand on belly, solar plexus area. For the next few minutes, I invite you to not attach to any one thought. Welcome to Shavasana. Begin to invite movement back into the body by wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe rock the head side to side. A light sensation of waking back up, moving some energy through the body. And then bring those hands overhead like it's the first stretch of the day. You're still on your backs, but reaching the hands up, point the toes down. And then with your arm overhead, roll over onto your favorite side. Right side for grounding, and then left side for energizing, getting a little bit more blood flow to the heart. And in this space, returning to the thoughts that I offered at the beginning of class, knowing that storms do not last forever, that we must accept the present moment, surrender to the healing of the earth, the healing of ourselves. And then gently push yourself up with the other hand. We'll meet sitting in a cross-legged position, facing the camera. Find a comfortable seated position, grounding evenly through both sit bones. Facing the camera, maybe close the eyes. We'll bring the hands overhead one last time, fingertips to touch, collecting a nice big ball of energy. And then exhale, lower the thumbs down to your third eye center. Let them stop there. Press the forehead into the thumbs back into the forehead. Bring your attention to your third eye center, a glowing ball of light behind the two eyes.